Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, the birthplace of Congregational Humanism. We carry on that tradition of free thought today, dedicated to promoting a free search for truth, meaning, and justice. Our web address is firstunitarian.org. I'm David Breeden, Senior Minister. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our assembly for Sunday, June 25th, 2023. Whether you are here with us on site on Mount Curve Avenue or online, wherever you are, we are glad you are part of this gathered community. For those of you on site, we are glad you were able to navigate the parking today, navigate the traffic. Whether maybe you took public transportation or you used our new bike racks. The traffic on Pride Sunday we know is always a challenge. Some of you are smart enough to live right in the neighborhood. So well planned, Sandra and Neil. For those of us who are joining us online, we hope that your path to your device this morning was traffic-free. We are a relatively small crowd, but we're delighted to see you. And if any of you would wish to move forward, you're certainly welcome to do that. Our theme this month is on the path of delight. Debbie, we're so delighted to have you, Debby Magnuson, longtime member of FUS, as our guest speaker today. Will you lead us in a breathing exercise to get started?
Good morning, everyone. Is my microphone working? You got it? Are you getting it at home? All right. I'm so delighted to see you here this morning. I was sure nobody was going to be here at Mount Curve, with Pride traffic and parking and everything. I just thought, oh, well, it'll be me and Jeff, because he has to come. But I'm so glad you're here with me. And our work this morning, our invitation this morning, is to breathe. We're going to be talking about the power of the breath all morning. And we don't want to talk about the breath, we want to do it here. So I invite you to join me in what we call simple breath awareness. Simple breath awareness is just the opportunity to be with your breath, your beautiful, beautiful breath. So if you'd like to close your eyes, you don't have to. Be comfortable. Close your eyes and just start breathing. Some of you are saying, I already was breathing. But we're going to move toward the intentionality of the breath. To begin to notice our taking in and letting go. Just be with your breath. No judgment. And as we go deeper into this breath awareness, start to get yourself more comfortable. Maybe move your shoulders. Put a soft smile on your face. The smile tells our brain we are safe. The physical upturning of your mouth tells your brain you are safe. So just notice, how long are your inhales? How long are your exhales? And start to deepen your breath as you maybe slow a little bit and just be aware. let's for a moment take a big, deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out with an open mouth sigh. Let's do a few of those. Breathe in through your nose. Did you know sighing is a very powerful way to breathe? And now let's close our lips and do a little bit more deepening of the inhale, the taking in, and the exhale, letting go. Being aware of how it feels. Relax your shoulders. If it feels good, maybe lift your shoulders on the inhale and drop them on the exhale to allow your body to relax. Taking in a few more, letting go. And just breathe. There's nothing to do, nowhere to be. You are here, and you are breathing. A few more breaths to settle yourself, to become fully present in the work we're here to do together this morning. One more big deep breath in. Open mouth exhale. Inhale, exhale, repeat.
Come, let us gather in community.
Right there.
Well, good morning. I'm going to be singing a couple of songs today. The first one is in keeping with our monthly theme of delight. There are not many things more delightful than summer, so it's a song about summer that's written by Carly Simon. And then the second song, after Joyce's Sorrows, is Japanese Bowl. That was written by Peter Mayer. Some of you might know that song. It's about the Japanese art of kintsugi, where if pottery breaks, instead of throwing it away or trying to repair it inconspicuously, they use a lacquer that's infused with gold, so it actually highlights the cracks. So it's kind of a good metaphor for life, that our cracks are sort of what makes us who we are. So first of all, there's summer's coming around again. Another delightful thing about this one is it has a piano solo by Mike, so we like that.
Follow him away. follow him away, follow him away. Sad to say, he hasn't seen you come by this way. His sunny smile just reflects sunny days. Haven't you seen his face before? Every year it seems to come this way. Every year it seems to come this way.
Always a treat. Thank you, Cindy. We begin our assembly by lighting our chalice as we remember one of our UU principles, our FUS aspirations. Today, the first aspiration. We aspire to live joyfully and ethically in loving, reverent relationship with humanity and nature. And now we will sing together. As you are leading us in breath, I will name that one of the things I love most about congregational gathering is singing together when we regulate our breath. We breathe in and out together when we sing. So we're going to sing Spirit of Life, which is number 123 in the Gray Songbook. We'll sing it one time through. If you'll stand as you're able, and your lyrics will appear up here. Remain standing for our congregational covenant. Love is the spirit of this place, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you. Please be seated. First Unitarian Society is a congregational humanist community. That means we are here for each other. On Sundays, we take a few moments to reflect on the joys, the sorrows, and the milestones of the human experience. In doing this, we remind ourselves of the value of a moment of stillness, and we are reminded to stay in touch with our own humanity. And as a gathered community, we do this so that no one among us is alone, either in celebrating life's joys or in facing life's tragedies and burdens. We are here for and with each other. This week, we are thinking of Sheila Callender, currently in Essentia Hospital in Duluth, with a broken leg and cracked rib. She had an accident this week while on vacation. She had surgery on Friday and will have another one on Monday. Alan is here today, but he's going back up to Duluth this afternoon, and Sheila if you are watching, we are all sending you all the healing energy we can. Downstairs, you will find a card basket to send a note to Sheila and to others in our congregation who could use a little love. You write the card and we'll send them out for you. Now, we take a few moments to reflect on our world and on those who work for comfort and to heal the suffering and those who work for justice.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. I'm like one of those Japanese books that were made long ago. I have some cracks in me. They have been filled with gold. That's what they used back then when they had a bowl to mend. It did not hide the cracks, it made them shine instead. So now every old scar shows from every time I broke anyone's eyes can see I'm not what I used to be. In a collector's mind, all of these jagged lines make me more beautiful, worth a much higher price. I'm like one of those Japanese bowls. I was made long ago. I have some cracks you can see how they shine of gold.
It's so good to be with you here this morning and to share discoveries that I have made in the last few years of my life. But before I say that, I want to talk a little bit very quickly about why we sang the song Spirit of Life. Now, as you know, it's kind of a Unitarian anthem. For those of you that have hung around here much, you know that Spirit of Life is one of our songs. But what I love about that song is it talks about spirit of life, and that takes us right to that Latin root of inspirare. Spirare is spirit, and you know what it means? To breathe life into. All the spirit words, perspiration, respiration, you could go on and on and on. All of those are about the breath of life. And so I requested the song Spirit of Life because that is what this journey is all about. And I'll just say a very few quick words. The slide, please. I'll just say a couple very quick words about my journey to the breath, which began a little over 3 years ago. I had the opportunity, I was invited to this event out in Minnetonka, and I had no idea what was going on. And I was introduced to this organization called BreathLogic. And BreathLogic was founded by two amazing women, Lori Ellis Young and Nancy Chakrin. And BreathLogic is an organization that inspires breath literacy, which I'll talk about in a second, locally and globally. So what this event was all about was breathing. And like many of you, I'm like, don't I already know how to breathe? Haven't I been doing it for the last 60 plus years? Don't we automatically know how to breathe? We breathe at least 22,000 times a day, breathing in, breathing out, right? 22,000 times a day. So it's like, well, don't we kind of already know how to do this? And it turns out that we really don't know how to breathe. Most of us don't know how to breathe in a way that enables us to enrich our lives. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning, is how that journey works. BreathLogic, by the way, we are an organization, a 501c3, and we are an organization that goes and teaches intentional mindful breathing in business places. We work a lot with nurses. We work with a lot of kids groups. We work with business, corporate leaders. We work in doing workshops with just folks like us. And so I had the opportunity to, within a month of the, next slide, please. Within a month of attending that gathering, I was in Guatemala learning how to teach breathing to others. And one of the things we teach is this concept of breath literacy. Now, we know all about literacy, right? Literacy means that we are literate in something. We have wisdom, we have a skill, we have learned, whether it's to read, whether it's literacy in the visual arts, information literacy, tech literacy, scientific literacy, and all. And Lori Ellis Young, the co-founder of BreathLogic, said, we need breath literacy. We need skills in how to maximize, and next slide please, the amazing power of, next slide, there we go, to breathe as if your life depends on it, because it does, right? So real quickly, the brain, the heart, and the breath go into a bar. And they're in the bar, and they're saying, especially the heart and the brain are going, we need to clear this up. Which of us is the most important? And so the brain pipes up immediately and says, I am the most important. All my beautiful brain cells, we keep the engine of your body moving. All feeling, all mindfulness, everything comes from the brain. And the heart says, oh, dear brain, yes, you are important. You're very important. But where would your brain be without the rich, beautiful blood and oxygen that my heart pumps into and throughout the body so that your brain can work? Where would you be without the heart? The pump would stop. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, we know that both of us are more important than the breath. I mean, give me a break. What does breath do? And the breath says, and walks out. The breath walks out the door, and what happens? Right? Yeah, the heart's going, and the brain's starting to really feel the pinch. And they immediately go, well, okay, breath, you are the most important. Brain, you are the connector. You are the source of life that keeps us moving. The heart able to pump. The brain to be able to function. All of the functions of the body are enabled by the breath. So this was the journey. This was the journey to learning about the breath. Because the bottom line with all this is we don't think about breathing. It just is automatic. But did you know that the respiratory system of the body is the only system of the body that is both involuntary, in other words, you're breathing no matter what. You know, as soon as you come into this world, the first thing that happens is, if you're as an infant, right? And at the end of life, the last thing is your final breath. So the breath is moving throughout your body, but it does so much more. Once we understand and we call it connecting with the extraordinary, connecting you with the extraordinary power of your ordinary breath. We find that, number one, the breath promotes lung health. This became a huge big deal during COVID. Most of us really got a much clearer view of how the breath works if we had COVID and had our respiratory systems impacted. I don't know if you saw this in how we were caring for people with COVID. One of the things they started to do is put people on their stomachs, people that were really suffering. You know, they put people on their stomachs and did what's called back breathing. Did you know you could breathe into your back lungs? You can if you intentionally, mindfully deepen your breath to the point that you're expanding the lung capacity. That is our goal, to expand, if you care about your lungs, expand lung capacity. And deep, mindful breathing is how we expand lung capacity. The breath is the bridge between your body and your mind. It's your connection point, as we were just talking about. The body, you know, the heart and the brain. It is the bridge between your body and your mind. It regulates and distributes oxygen throughout your body, right? People who start to do pretty deep belly breathing, they'll sometimes say, oh, I'm feeling a little dizzy. And it's like, that's your brain on oxygen, right? So when we breathe more deeply into our lungs, we're expanding lung capacity and we're bringing oxygen to where we need it most. And the other piece of breath literacy that is so important, and this is what we teach children in the schools, is that each of us can intentionally and easily calm your mind and your body. The respiratory system of the body is the only system that is both involuntary, you do it without thinking, and voluntary. So when we say breathe as if your life depends upon it, because it does, is that we can intentionally shift how we feel in our bodies by the way that we breathe. There's a term that's come up, and many of you are probably familiar with this. You know, we all know lifespan, right? Lifespan are those years from birth to death. That's your lifespan. The other term that's come into meaning as we have expanded, did you know that we have more than doubled our life expectancy? Just in the last 40 to 50 years. We have doubled life expectancy, which means that we may live longer than we feel good in our bodies. It's called health span. So we have lifespan and we have health span. And it's a real problem, and this is a real issue in our nation and throughout the world, if lifespan is longer than health span. Because if your health span runs out, you spend whatever time you have left on this earth kind of being sick, feeling miserable, not being able to do what you want to do, go where you want to go, and so on. So the question is, and medical science has like expanded our lifespan so much, you know, is like, what can we do? What can each of us do to expand our health span, add years to our health? And what we know and what research is showing over and over and over again is that the breath can impact many, many parts of your body and your brain and all of the beautiful systems within that to help us feel better, live better. Let me give you some examples. So if you want to forward the slide just a minute here, let's see what's coming up here next. Nope, not that one. So take that one off. These got out of order somehow. Oh, that's the one actually I was looking for. All right. So one of the great gifts of the breath is relaxation, right? And that exercise we did with simple breath awareness is a great example of how we can intentionally calm our nervous systems in a blip of time. It doesn't take long to calm your nervous system. It takes intention and presence, right? And so we know about the power of the breath to relax the body. We also know that breathing in a certain way helps you to sleep better. It helps you calm anxiety. It helps you deal with stress. And it helps you regulate how oxygen is flowing through your body. So what I'd like to do now, you can all hear me as I step out here? Yes? No? I'm looking at my guys back here. I think I'm on. All right, we good? We are going to do a simple relaxation breath. And the relaxation breath becomes a sleep breath, okay? And so let's go back into that place we left off with simple breath awareness. If you want to close your eyes, you certainly can. You don't have to. Wherever you're comfortable. So we're here and we are breathing. Let's take a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's let go of any stress, anything you're carrying. Breathe in. Anything that's weighing on your mind. And let's just come into that space. If you like to meditate, you might put your hands into a meditation mudra here. Just put your hands in a place that's easier, leave them on your lap. And just breathe. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. Most breathing is done through nasal breathing, both in and out through the nose, because that is where you expand lung capacity. Nasal breathing helps you expand lung capacity. Exhaling through the mouth doesn't do that as well, though there are times that it's good to breathe through the mouth as well. But so let's just drop in and take a few deep breaths in and let it go. Deep breath out. If you want to use your hands, please feel free to do that. Add a somatic element here by bringing your hands up and letting your hands down. Breathe in, raise your palms up. Breathe out, lower your palms, and just drop into breathing. Let's do a simple 4-count breath. 2, 3, 4 on the inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Let's drop into deeper relaxation by breathing in for 2, breathe out for 4. The relaxation breath, you double the length of the exhale. So let's breathe. 1, 2, in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Inhale. 1, 2. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. I'm going to change the count to 3, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Inhale. Let you count on your own. Exhale. Double the length. Two more big, deep breaths. Double length exhale. You want to open your eyes? How did that feel? Anybody asleep out there? So the relaxation break, the inhale takes care of itself. Mindful breathing really happens in the exhale. If you're exhaling deeply and long, really trying to empty out your lungs, okay, and especially diaphragmatic breathing, which is belly breathing, those of you that study yoga, you know about diaphragm, and singers know about diaphragmatic breathing, where we are breathing out and our bellies actually go out on the inhale, and then they contract on the exhale. So you actually, and this is counterintuitive for most people, belly breathing is when you puff out your belly as you're taking in breath because you're filling it up, and then you're exhaling. So the relaxation breath with a double length exhale is what's called the relaxation breath. It's also known as the sleep breath. If there's one thing that conscious, intentional breathing can do, is it can help you sleep better. If you do that simple 2 in, 4 out in bed, you don't have to use your hands. Just lie there and inhale, exhale. That's the sleep breath. Give it a try tonight and see if it can help you fall asleep or if it can help you stay asleep. If you wake up, just do a quick inhale, exhale. Okay. Next, I want to talk a little bit about stress, because stress, and next slide, please. The blue stressy looking one. Yeah. So stress is an absolute epidemic in our society. Children are stressed, teenagers, all of the statistics about the level of stress and anxiety carried by people of all ages, right? And so the question is, what can I do about it? Do I have to go spend a lot of money? Do I have to take medication? Do I have to have a coach that'll help me figure out my stress, or a psychologist that'll help me deal with my anxiety? All of those things are good, and one thing we always say is we are not medical people. Those of us that teach breathing and bring it to others. We are not medical people, and nothing I'm saying here will replace anything that your doctor would tell you in treatment. And good deep breathing, such as we just did with the relaxation breath, is a really wonderful way to relax your body. And the reason this is, if you want to advance the slide, please. Next. That's it. Okay, so here's where neuroscience comes in, neuroscience in the brain. So your central nervous system is operating, right? And it's your nerves, it's your blood vessels, it's all of these things. And the autonomic nervous system, in other words, the automatic things that your brain does, and along with your nervous system, it has two parts. We have the sympathetic nervous system and we have the parasympathetic nervous system. And it matters that you understand this because it makes a huge difference in how you're able to calm your own mind. So we have in the SNS, have any of you ever experienced amygdala hijack? Where all of a sudden you see red, you get super, super angry, and you get hooked. I call it the fish hook, where all of a sudden your emotions hook your whole self, and pretty soon you're yelling at people, you have road rage. I mean, there's so many examples of this. So that happens because your sympathetic nervous system gets triggered. All right, and when your sympathetic nervous system gets triggered, we automatically, absolutely every time, start to breathe more shallowly. That's the first thing that happens. If you get triggered with anger, rage, unfairness, your kids, I mean, there's a lot of things, right? The first thing that happens, you start to go, chest breathing. Okay? Chest breathing is incredibly damaging to your body and your nervous system because if you get locked into chest breathing, you lose control of your nervous system and you act in rage. This is the ancient fight or flight, right? This is the ancient fight or flight response to the body. It's centered in your amygdala and the limbic system, reptilian part of your brain. The other side is the parasympathetic, and this is when we are like in that beautiful relaxation you were doing, right? This is when we are calm. It's called the rest and digest. So this is the difference between fight or flight, rest and digest, okay? Your parasympathetic nervous system is necessary for long-term breathing. It's centered in the neocortex. In other words, your places executive decision-making, good judgment, all of that happens in the neocortex of your brain. And when you're in fight or flight, you lose access to your center of good judgment and good thinking, right? So what we know is that the breath is the bridge between the fight or flight and the rest and digest. You can calm your own brain, your own mind, your own body. You have the power within you to calm yourself and come back to center. Come back to rest and digest, where you can think well, make good decisions, probably apologize for what a jerk you were under the fight or flight part. Right? So you come back to do this, and we do it through the breath. That good relaxation breath is the fastest way to do it. And you can go anywhere. If you feel yourself starting to slide into fight or flight, you can come back just by taking, you remember the old thing they used to tell you? Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Count to 10. All of those old sayings actually are about giving your brain a chance to get reconnected to your neocortex. So this is the power that each of us has. And I want to do a breath practice to close out this part of our conversation. It's called the bip-bop breath. And the bip-bop breath, we're going to go right back to where we've been. Next slide, the bip-bop breath slide. There we go. This is the bip-bop breath. And so the bip-bop breath says, breathe in peace, breathe out pain. When we are in real psychic pain, and by the way, physical pain, breathing is very, very helpful for dealing with, let's say, legs, if you have restless leg or if you have neurologic pain in your body, okay? This kind of breathing can be very helpful. Let's do it together. We breathe in peace. Inhale. We breathe out pain. Let's do that again. We breathe in peace. On the inhale, we breathe out pain. We're reprogramming, by the way, all you neuroscientists out there and psychologists, you know this about reframing. This is a way to reframe, get out of your rut of harmful thinking. So we breathe in peace, we breathe out pain. We breathe in love. We breathe out fear. We breathe in acceptance. We breathe out intolerance. We breathe in serenity. We breathe out worry. If you'd like to move your hands somatically like we're doing here too, this can be helpful. So you breathe in what you want more of, and you breathe out what you're ready to let go of. Not pushing it away. We never push it away because what we resist persists. But we can let go. Breathe in peace. Breathe out anxiety. Breathe in acceptance. Breathe out intolerance. Breathe in calm. Breathe out anxiety. Breathe in love. Breathe out fear. And now as we finish this breath, this time we're coming full circle to breathe in peace, breathe out peace. Breathe in peace, breathe out peace. On your own, whatever you want to bring in, whatever you want to let go of. What do you want to put out into the world? We aren't pushing away, we're letting go of things that no longer serve us. Can I see the next slide, please? So before I complete this talk, just because I'm a reference kind of a person, this is a book that was written by Lori Ellis Young and Dr. George Ellis. They are co-founders, again, of BreathLogic, and they wrote this beautiful book a couple of years ago. They have a really important story to tell. Dr. George is a psychologist who works with victims of trauma, specifically war around the world. They have lived and worked in Ukraine. They spent 5 years in Ukraine after the annexation of Crimea. He worked for a non-governmental organization, and he teaches psychologists how to use tools to heal trauma. And once the Ukraine war got going last year, he and Lori started up a Zoom-based training system. They meet with a group of Ukrainian psychologists every week, and they actually use the breath a lot, along with Dr. George's other tools that he uses. And so, and Dr. George has said that he would be happy to talk to our Ukrainian refugees when they come, because they lived in the country, they have a lot of experience with that and are continuing to do that work. So our website, www.breathlogic.org, is a resource for us, and I'm going to turn it back to Kelly as we close out.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Debbie, for that. Oh, that feels so healing and relaxing. Well, now that we're all oxygenated, let's sing together. Our song is Peace Like a River. It's number 100. We're going to sing the first 3 verses. Please stand as you are able and willing to do so today. Julie.
Hi, I'm Julie Stewart. I serve this congregation as the newest member of your Board of Trustees. I did not grow up with any religious tradition at all. So when I started attending Unitarian Universalist congregations as an adult, it was an acquired behavior. I'll admit that for the first few years, I kept wondering with some irritation, why are they always asking me for money? Everything seemed to be going well, so why did they need me? Eventually, as I developed deeper ties to my UU communities, I learned to do the right thing, and I lined up to contribute my share. Still, it felt more like an obligation, something I felt I had to do, not something I wanted to do. My real aha moment came for me about a dozen years ago when I witnessed the founding of my beloved Minnesota Orchestra, and I realized in a more immediate and profound way that what I did or did not contribute really did matter. Giving is now something I truly enjoy because it helps the organizations that matter to me thrive. So, if this organization matters to you, I invite you to consider making a contribution today. You can do so in several ways, via our website, the Vanco mobile app, PayPal, by using our electronic kiosk downstairs, or by stopping by the office with a check. Thank you for your support in any amount that makes the work of First Unitarian Society possible. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Bill Carnes. I'm a member of the Upper Assembly Hall Task Force. We are in the Upper Assembly Hall today, those of us who are here present on site. It occurred to me as I was listening to Deb give her informative talk that we could think of the Upper Assembly Hall as the lungs of the First Unitarian Society. And this is a beautiful space we're sitting in today. Look around. Much of what we see here today was not here 72 years ago when the building was built, when the building opened. The organ, this lectern, many things, the screen, and the pews and the floor really haven't changed in those 72 years. Slight changes. They've gotten older. And the time has come for us to consider what should or needs to change in the space for our comfort, for our safety, and our use today, and for what future members will want and need in this historic gathering place. The Upper Assembly Hall Task Force is still open and we're welcoming participants. If you're interested in taking part in the work that we're doing, please contact Audrey Kingstrom, who I think is not here today. If you want to contact her, you could probably walk down to the Pride Festival and see her at the Humanists of Minnesota booth. Otherwise, you could stop in the office and get her email address or other ways to directly, or talk to Kelly. Do that by the end of June, which is Friday? Is that right? Soon. Do it soon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Bill. Just a few other short announcements for those of us on site. We hope you'll join us downstairs for our mini meal. Today we have chicken pasta casserole or Indian lentil vegetable soup. Boy, it smelled really good when I came in today. Next week, our ministerial intern, David Buckley, and our summer support member and good friend, the Reverend Dr. J. Exodus Hooper, so glad to see you and your family here, asked, whose Independence Day? And they say, American history is messy, and so is present-day America. In that light, how do we make sense of the annual celebration of our nation's founding? And they're going to do some interactive things next Sunday, so bring your smartphone, because there will be ways to participate, and certainly ways for folks online to participate as well. And our musical accompanist, Amos Lucidi, will be here next Sunday. All right, so we are so happy, Jay, to have you present. And beginning on July 9th, Jay and other members of our summer ministry team will be leading our youth in a shimmery summer religious education program for our young ones entering grades 1 through 7. You know, if Jay is a part of it, there's going to be, well, there may be glitter, but I imagine sequins one way or another. Downstairs in the chalice room is going to be the fun place to be, and we need adult volunteers to help make this happen. So please stop by the table downstairs in the lower assembly hall today to sign up for a Sunday to add your name. I'll be there and Jay will be there part of the time, and we can talk to you more about that. The UU Ukraine project is excited to announce that we have surpassed our initial fundraising goal in a little more than 3 weeks. Y'all listen to this. We set a goal of $40,000, the amount they thought they needed to bring 3 families to the U.S. and transition them into self-support. They have now raised over $46,000. Really, for real. We are now suspending active fundraising at this time. We will be soliciting donations of lightly used household furnishings and supplies to outfit their long-term housing needs, starting for the family of 5 who will move into a rental duplex in August. Thanks to everyone who has donated to this effort, and a special thanks to the Dodd and Ginger Wilson Fund, the 2 anonymous donors of challenge grants, and everyone who has donated to make your gifts. Your generosity and outstanding compassion demonstrates the power we have as a congregation to make change. And I just want to say a special thanks to Catherine Jordan and Bob Adderhold for leading this, Michael Pileggi, other people who are on this team. Thank you. And now we extinguish the chalice. Please join me in these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and minds until we are together again. That's you, right?
I'm not sure if this, hey, here we go. So just some context on this last song. The title, as you'll see in a second here, is called Thank You, Lord. And obviously I know we are not a Christian congregation, and I myself am not a Christian. But this is, in terms of delight, this is it's a piece of gospel music that I have been working on. And gospel music is something that's always brought me delight. And this is something from Reverend Carl Walker, again, who I referenced last week. There's a music school in St. Paul called Walker West Music Academy. If you're going down to the Jazz Fest, you'll probably see some of their teachers playing and leading things. They do a really, really good work. So this is, again, something from Reverend Carl Walker. Not by him, but his arrangement of Thank You, Lord.
Am I on? Okay, I'm on. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We are going to conclude with a breath that can lift you up when your heart needs lifting, and whether you're coming from a low place or whether you just want to hold up your arms and say thank you in gratitude, which is what I'm doing with all of you here in the building, and especially those of you that came in online. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to do the heart breath, and we're going to do it together. And the heart breath requires that you stand up and get some space. Feel free, come into the aisles, come up front, go out to the sides, get some space. Because because we're going to be pumping some oxygen, right? We're going to be pumping some oxygen here. So the heart breath starts like this in namaste or prayer position. Okay? So the heart breath goes like this. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, come back to heart center. And we're going to do this about 6 times. So just kind of get comfortable. You can breathe in through your nose the whole time, breathe in and out. But if you want to do some to let go at the end, that's good too. Get more space if you like. Feel free to move out. Okay, ready? My heart is full from being with all of you today. We lift it up with the inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Back to heart center. On your own, you can do this in however speed you want. I love hearing you breathe together. Inhale. One last time. Inhale. This time when you come back to heart center, hold it. Put your thumbs right on your heart. Let's just hold this breath. And I'd like you to think of someone that you want to send love out to today, an individual. Put your hands to heart center and offer love. I want you to take another big deep breath, and I'd like you to send love out to a group or people or a situation in the world. And send love to them. And lastly, I'd like you to just turn to someone, and I'd like you to offer them the love. And if you want to say namaste, so be it. And last words. Each time you breathe out, you are a different human being than when you breathed in. This is life. Experience comes in, experience goes out, and you are changed. May it be so. Oh, thanks.